We'll start with the latest news. It's D-Day, and D stands for Daouda. He's finally here. Sits here next to us. What can you say about him finally being here?
Yeah, obviously we've had to wait a while, but it's not unexpected with just how you have to get visas for players that are coming back from Africa. So we're excited he's here. We're really happy he's here, and it fills a position of need within the squad, which we've been looking at for a long time to try and fill within the team. But you know, he's an athletic ball winner, very good forward passer, great game intelligence in front of the defence. So we're excited he's here.
He's obviously not been here training with the team. What's the plan for him over the coming weeks?
Yeah, this week he'll stay here and he'll train in with the 19s, because obviously we're off for the week. But he's got a gym programme, same as everybody else, and then he'll come to the team. Come with the team next week to Spain. So he's already in good physical condition. He's been training every day in Cameroon. So yeah, we don't expect to take too long to get him integrated into the squad.
What have you been working on and talking about after during the week after the Sirius game?
Yeah, just to try and be more compact. Obviously, we're not going to play 5-3-2 very often. We had some problems, particularly in the first half, for how we slid across the defensive line to control space, drop off, block the penalty box, how we got access to the ball in their half. Like, there was a lot of small problems which became big problems because there was just indecision across different parts of the team. But I think we'll see us more back to normal this week. We'll play our normal shape, normal system, so we'll be back to normal this week. We spent more time working this week on trying to be compact between the lines in our normal shape, but with an emphasis that when we have the ball, how to overload the opponent in specific areas to get behind the defence. So yeah, it's been more of a normal training week for us this week with a game coming up, which, you know, if we play our proper game, then we'll get a good result.
What can you say about players' availability?
We need to check Demba, we need to check Timo, we need to just make sure how many minutes there's certain players can play, so we'll have a meeting about that as a staff just after training. But yeah, we just need to check Demba and Timo first, and if we feel there's any risk to either of them, then we'll take them out of the game, because again, I keep saying this, I repeat it every week, the season starts in April, it doesn't start in March, so we need to make sure that we're not, you know, loading players too much with the load that they've had in training, and, you know, further increasing the risk of injury while forcing them to play a game which has minimal meaning towards it, like how we're going to prepare for April. So we just need to be sensible with the players and not try and run anybody into the ground at this stage of the season.
You're talking about Timo and Demba. Timo obviously was subbed off with an injury last time. What's the issue with Demba?
Demba, he was complaining about tightness in his hamstring. Again, like I said before we played Elfsborg and before we played Sirius, these have been the two heaviest training weeks, highest intensity, highest amount of volume. Week on week has been a dramatic increase. So again, it's just accumulated fatigue rather than an injury. So when they've been doing a heavy gym programme, all these things, they all combine together to create these things. So they're not unexpected. We're quite happy that we've had very few problems so far, but the way Demba plays, he's athletic, he covers the ground really quickly, he's fast, so things like hamstring tightness can turn into a tear quite quickly, so it's more important that we don't rush him and don't risk it than force him to play. Of course, if this was a league game, then he would be able to play and we would manage him through it, but we would modify his training load. But again, I think for this game we'll probably be safer than riskier.
Is this game important for the confidence of the team after the two losses, and also for the belief of the fans and everyone around?
It's important from that perspective, yeah. Again, before we played Elfsborg, everybody understands it's probably going to be difficult. Against Sirius, it's going to be difficult. They're good teams, of course, and we're missing and have been missing a number of players while having the heavy training load. But again, I feel like there was aspects of the game in both phases against both teams where, of course, we struggle, but you learn from these games where we can say, right, in these situations, this is how we solve specific problems, which I would rather play those games than play a lot of games where we're going to win easily. So again, from this game, it's a good Super 18 team we're playing, but I feel like if we play a proper game, we'll get a good result.
And what do you have to do to play a proper game?
get into specific spaces in between the lines to try and organise our possession so that we can move the ball quickly to find the free player between the lines, and then once we get between the lines, make lots of runs to try and get behind the defensive line. I think when we've played really well in pre-season, we've done all those things quite well. I think the last two games, obviously, like the structure of the team didn't really allow for those things to happen because we were more having to defend rather, through being forced to rather than through choice. But when we play this game, I think we can impose our own style on Sundsvall and go and attack them from the start.